You already saw that we have just like it's difficult, okay? So we're just going to start the video, and of course, if you're new here, this is Ask a Mom, where I ask my mom some interesting questions that you might want to ask your moms, but I'm just going to try it on mine for security purposes. But go ahead and ask your moms if you feel that they'll be okay with it. So although I've introduced you, who are you?
My name is Mama Abby or Rachel Kimani, and I'm glad to be here. Yes.
And if you do like this video, then please hit the thumbs up and also subscribe. And Mom has her own channel called
Surrendered with Rachel Kimani.
I will link that in the bio, so please feel free to check it out. So Mom, how are you?
Today I'm good. I'm feeling nice.
Okay.
Yes, and this is not just for the sake of being right or telling you so that it sounds right. I congratulate you. You normally do well. You are reaching out people. You've started early. What is important is being consistent with what you do and staying on course, remembering who you're called for. Yes, well done.
Thank you. I'm blushing. So let us start with question number 1. Today's topic is obedience.
Imagine, and she doesn't even tell me.
No, it's a surprise.
She just...
It's a surprise. You're not supposed to know.
Okay.
Anyways, obedience. Question number 1. Have you ever disobeyed your mother or father when you were young, and what were the consequences? And you have to give us a story, okay? Don't just tell us yes, and I learned not to disobey. No, you have to give us a story. If you're told not hang out with so and so, then yeah.
Yes. I almost remember the beatings that I got every time I disobeyed. So the answer is yes. Those things that are at the back of your mind, and when someone reminds you, you remember, this is what happened, and these were the consequences. I've disobeyed before. I have received the consequences. This is what happened. My mom was a very strict mom and a very loving mom at the same time. She never had gray areas where obedience was concerned. You were sent, you were told, go to the shop. You go to the shop. My mom had either a time meter. She is the only one who knew how long it takes from the house to the shop, and if it exceeded a minute, you had an explanation and it better be valid. So there is this time we were going for a trip. I think you have heard me repeat that story. When we were going to school, we were meant to go to KICC. It was a big deal. In the days you go to KICC, you're passing by there like it's just normal. For us, we had to come to Ushago, and the trip from Ushago to KICC was a big deal, and she had told us we have to learn to live with little. We have to learn to be content with what we have. And in life, there will always be people who have more than you do, like it or not. So, we had these neighbors, and they had more than we did. I never liked borrowing. As a matter of fact, it is my friend who saw that my shoe was torn. Then when we went for the trip, she brought a shoe to me. But my mom had told me in the morning, don't borrow food, don't borrow shoes, don't borrow anything. Whatever I give you, that is yours. So she brought, and they were cool shoes. And I wore the shoes, went to KCC, and I was trying to ask your brother the other day if he has ever seen shoes that have a ball in between the heel and the shoe. Hey, alas, the ball got out and it disappeared. So the school bus was delayed because we were looking for the ball on a borrowed shoe. So I think by the time we arrived home, the story was already there. The beating was just like that one, I can't explain. And she kept telling me, you need to learn to live within your means. I was beaten because of disobeying. I don't think I disobeyed. I argued with that. But to her, I didn't argue. The other one, I don't know if I shared here in this show. We went to somebody's shamba with my brother and my two sisters. Yes, and we were stealing guavas. You know guavas?
Yeah,
they called
I know
guavas.
Guavas. Oh,
Guavas.
delicious fruit.
And then my dad came.
Oh, yeah.
And the neighbor was there.
Oh, yeah.
If my sisters are watching, you remember this story.
It's getting worse.
And it's getting worse. And my dad is this one. The neighbor is saying, children have crisscrossed in my shamba and they are taking all these things.
Oh.
See, by the time we saw the neighbor, we had all ran away. So, but when my dad came and the neighbor was there, see, we were all called. Imagine my neighbor, my sister Tabs, you remember this very well. My dad came and said, these are the footprints for my daughter Muyaki. Well, my second name is that. These are the footprints for my daughter. And justice was done right there.
Sure. In front of everyone.
Of course, of course.
Oh.
Those days there's no negotiations of you did this, so I'm going to give you the punishment that I had told you. If you do this, this will happen. I was just beaten right away. And even my sisters had to run for their lives because war was coming. I had disobeyed. The disobedience was not for big deals like I went out, I was seen with a boy. Well, being seen with a boy was out of question.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am. Oh. Ask my neighbors, they'll tell you.
I'll ask her to tell me.
Yes, ask her. So I think the disobedience would come in terms of maybe I was sent to the river, we went to play fast before we went to the river, and then we haven't done the homework, and then we had no electricity, so darkness would land in before we do electricity. Hey, the beating was much. We were beaten to obedience. Okay? We were trained to obey by beating, and it worked. I grew up normally.
Okay, that is interesting.
Maybe other people can tell their stories if they were just beaten like I, but I always think we were beaten much more than other people. Yes.
I like that. That's interesting. Now, question number 2 is, has your mother ever told you to stay away from that friend? And did you find out the reason later why?
Today you're just asking me the questions that just bring those memories that linger. Yes, I have been, and I won't mention the friend. But I don't know. I think I've shared with you that story. I was told to stay away. My mom knew which friend is likely to be meeting boys, and she knew I'm likely not to know. And there is this friend, and I was vouching for her every day of my life. And my mom told me, stay away from so and so. But I was thinking, but they have done nothing wrong. I have gone to school with her in the morning, and I've come back with her from school. And my mom got a wind that my friend was expectant. And seriously, I didn't know. I didn't know because we went to school at the same time. We came back at the same time. We parted, and that would be the routine. So anyway, the thing is, my mother asked me, are you pregnant? I was not asked.
And you're like, what?
I was not asked if I know if my friend is expectant or not. So, and when I said no, the beating increased. And I kept on saying no, I kept on saying no.
You don't even know why, like,
yes.
If you just came and you asked me, are you pregnant? I'd be like, what?
What? No. So,
what?
And for that one, I think she was trying to verify in her thinking and in her knowledge that for sure I am not in any company and I've not met anybody, and that was her way of verifying.
Wait, even if that you kept saying no and she kept beating you, if she did suspect you are, God forbid, but if she did suspect you are, then wouldn't she not beat you in harm of, in like scared of harming the baby? Or
I think she had an idea that I hadn't entered into any company. It was a way of telling me, dare you enter? Dare you enter? Because the way we would go to school, come back, we had duties allocated, and time would be just the right time. We have done everything. I was a good girl, by the way. I grew up like that. But beating, I got. Punishment, I got. And anyway, shortly after we realized, my friend was expectant and she told me, I normally tell you, you'll thank me later. Just like they tell you sometimes.
Okay. Interesting.
These are very personal questions,
Yeah,
Abby.
it is. Now even more personal, because today's episode is just like this. When we disobey you, how do you feel? By me, I mean, by the way, I have like 2 brothers. Their Instagrams are here, and mine too. Go follow us. But anyways, those are my brothers. And when we disobey you, how do you feel? And Dad also.
That's a tough one. Definitely, when you disobey me, I feel sad. Because every parent has an expectation, I guess. And sometimes the way I think I have raised you, when things don't go the way I'm thinking, definitely, naturally, I feel disappointed. Do I expect you to be perfect? Perfect has not happened. Do I feel like I expect better? Yes. How do I handle that? I think you know better. I normally will tell you I feel disappointed, I feel sad, we agreed on this and this and that and you did not do. A while back when you were younger, there were discipline measures that we had put, and we would use disciplinary measures that would carry kiboko and a physical one. And that, mwiko, we call it mwiko. And you would have that after all those episodes of talking. Then as we continue to grow and certain things happen that are not in line with what I think should happen, usually we talk. It's also a form of discipline, whereby we will change the system, we'll change the ways of discipline. The discipline will become more conversational, but it feels sad. But one of the things I have seen, whenever we talk about it, and you see yourself becoming, you see yourself wanting even to be who you want to be, more than the way I want you to be more, that blesses me more. And I must admit, growing children, parenting children, disciplining children is one of our duties, is one of the things that we must do. And how does it feel even to raise a child who doesn't make a mistake? I think it will be flat, it will be bogus, it will be sad. I don't think it will be a nice journey, because it is in these small things that happen as we are relating that enabled me know that I'm raising normal children. I'm proud of you and your brothers, because we haven't had those ones of heaven has to drop down now, let's tackle this. And I'm really praying and hoping, and your father and I are praying and hoping every day that the journey will continue to be like that. Parenting is a gift from God. It's not ours. It's parents will tell you outside there, it's never easy. If any parent tells you it has been smooth from the time children came, they grew, they were teenagers, now they are married, it's a lie. Every parent will tell you every stage of parenting is enjoyable. It has its own measure of challenges. But when children and parents learn, we are here together and we're here to make it, and it's a gift that I'm born into this family, and it's a gift that these children have been born into my life, the journey becomes very good, because it's actually a mandate we have from God that we should raise children for Him. One of the things, I'll be sorry for answering it in a long way, one of the things that God has entrusted parents with and guardians with is the gift of parenting. Whether we have given birth to children biologically, whether we have adopted them, it's such an awesome honor that we could steward children for God. We don't parent, or personally, I tell myself and I tell my friends, we have to parent you because we are not parenting you for us. We are parenting you for the world. We are parenting you for a mission. We are parenting you so that when you're out of our hands like this, you can be what you hoped to be and what we hoped you to be. Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Mom. So time. So today's final question. would you have obeyed if, God forbid, your parents told you to do something wrong? You know, like, this is a controversial topic, you know. Would you obey your parents? They told you to buy a cigarette, they told you to buy alcohol. You know, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 to 4, you know, tells you, by the way, speaking of which, you know, parents are always like, and teachers, children, obey your parents in the Lord. You know, they always read that verse 1 to 2. Then they skip verse 3 and 4. We see you. Verse 3 and 4. You know what? Go look at Ephesians chapter 2.
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6 rather. Verse 1 to 4. The whole verse. You're skipping a very important part. But anyways, before you check it, first of all, subscribe. And second of all, would you have obeyed your parents if, God forbid, they ever told you to buy any alcohol or cigarettes or something like that?
I don't know why parents are being accused of skipping Bible verses. But the very first one says, children, obey your in the Lord. What does that mean? You will obey your parents when they are asking you to do what is pleasant in the eyes of the Lord. It's not an easy rope to, to walk on. It's not an easy path because you're a child. And maybe your parent will tell you, go and buy for me alcohol, go and buy. I pray that parents will not put their children in such traps. But personally, I would obey if whatever they told me. Luckily, I had parents who would not ask me to do things that would put my faith into jeopardy or my future into jeopardy. But if my parents maybe told me, go do this, go do some jobs which are not in line with who God wanted me to be, like especially what you have said, cigarette, alcohol, I think I would not. But I would have risked a lot of beating, a lot of maybe backlash. So I don't know if I got saved a while back, so mine would have been worse maybe, but I don't think I would have. I obeyed. They gave us good duties to do. And we found them hard anyway, even the good duties. Okay. But we obeyed. Sad. I don't have the right answer. But parents, even though your children, they're just under you, try not to put them into harm's way. Sometimes the things you will cause your children to do later, you'll try and tell them, where did you learn this from? Stop this. I didn't give birth to you so that you can become this. We forget that who we want our children to be, we have to role model it. Sometimes we say so much and they don't have an example to follow. Even if you maybe have a lifestyle that you don't think is fitting to your children, don't put them in that trap. Avoid affecting their emotions, their psyche. Avoid causing them to lack that confidence of saying, I have parents and I can confidently say they cannot put me into harm's way. Just try keep adult stuff out of your children's ways.
I like that answer. So I thank you, Mom. Today's was a particularly long episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. Did you, Mom?
I did. Some questions I usually had. Maybe you should tell her to be preparing me.
Oh.
But I'm always happy to be here.
Okay. So thank you. It's been a pleasure having you. Also, guys, don't forget to subscribe to both Mom's and I's YouTube channel. So I think that is it for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.